All right, let's legit do this. Hurry, while the puppy's napping.
Okay, puppy's napping. We'll do it. Okay.
I don't think I was on beat at all with the clapping, but...
And yet I'm still adequately amused. Welcome to Happily Ever Aftermath, the podcast that explores the movies that influenced how we view love and romantic relationships. Yes, there will be spoilers. I'm your host, Diana Rojek-Sconard. We have an unusual problem here, Jane. You obviously want me dead, and I'm less and less concerned for your well-being. We're talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith from 2005, and thankfully, Steve and Izzy are here with me. Hey!
Hey guys! Hey everybody!
How's it going?
Oh, good.
Yeah!
Just, breaking in that new puppy.
Aw, wait, not like breaking it, are you? Like...
No, I'm breaking him in. He's still got that new puppy smell.
Yay.
Yeah. You're gotta get your ass groove good in the puppy.
Hey, what? Okay, this is sounding weird. Hey guys, we've had a puppy for about a month, and it's going great.
Apparently the grooves are coming in.
Yeah, apparently we're rubbing our asses on it. I don't know.
Weirdly, I understood that reference, but at the same time, it's still good to let people know, no, that's a chair. Okay.
It's a metaphor!
I mean, you can sit on the dog.
Or a simile? I don't know.
Well, that's wonderful. I love new puppy and family time. So
don't worry, he'll probably speak up here eventually.
Probably.
Yeah. Important question. What did Sushi think of Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Okay, Diana, peek behind the curtain.
No.
I don't have to watch this movie again. I've seen it hundreds of times or something over my life.
Oh.
I'm married to a guy who, when I first started dating him, had 9 copies.
Okay. So, peek behind curtain so much. It's just I'm going to tell people. So I've listened to your Mr. and Mrs. Smith episode, and I'm just like, because everyone's just like, action movie and Angelina Jolie. Here you go, Steve.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Salt. I had so many copies I couldn't give them away fast enough, basically.
And yet when we went to do both those episodes, we had to repurchase them because your roommate stole every fucking copy.
Guys, roommates are the worst. Just don't do it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can marry them to kind of tone it down, but then it's just like not roommate anymore.
Then it just comes up in litigious if you guys split up. Like, hey, they have my 2 copies of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Anyway. Somehow the lawyer ends up with both of them.
I mean, the retainer alone.
Yeah.
Well, what was great is that Ryan made a casual comment in the Lost City episode, and unfortunately, I am just reacting to his casual comments now, and so here we are. Woo!
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah. Yay! And thank you both, because it just kind of warmed my heart when that episode came out, and all of a sudden I had a direct message on Twitter. We can join you if you decide to do that episode. And I said, okay.
It's like anytime.
Woo!
You know where to find us.
I do.
Just put on the Stizzy signal and we come calling.
Absolutely. Here we are. So for those unfamiliar, I'm going to back up a step and I'm going to go with IMDb, and then we'll argue about this later. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, a bored married couple is surprised to learn that they are both assassins hired by competing agencies to kill each other. So, I mean, when you pause in the right places, they're surprised to learn that they are both assassins. No, they know they are assassins.
That is really the one major thing you just have to kind of go with in this movie, where it's just kind of like, oh, so they're world-class assassins and blah blah blah, but they're horrible at it for one very specific thing. But I chalk it up to, look, you look in the eyes of Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie, you lose all sense and control, and
right.
Oh, yes, and thank you, because Brad Pitt is the star, Angelina Jolie also the star, and then you have, like, this amazing cast of, they were in some things, but now you look back and it's like, weren't they on a show for like 8 years and they're famous now for other reasons? Yes, that is true. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So Adam Brody.
Adam Brody from what was it?
The
OC? Was that the first thing? Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Jennifer's Body, for anyone that remembers that movie.
Yeah. And then you got, okay, so also Vince Vaughn is in this movie, being Vince Vaughn. So I think there's no other way to describe that. I think it's great that Kerry Washington was like next build, like after Vince Vaughn, and I'm like, cool, good for her. You are like, you have all the Emmys now for Scandal, so fantastic.
Yeah, she's like fourth build and has what, 2 lines?
I know. It was just kind of weird. It's like she got to be the extra, you know, of the group of girls that worked for Angelina Jolie, so she got 3 extra lines instead of, you know, everybody else. But yeah, in part of that was also like, shoot, what is her name? Like Jennifer Morrison from House, and then Stephanie March from Law and Order, the original version. And then I thought that Michelle Monaghan was in there somewhere, but it was in rewatching that I'm just like, oh, she's just over here doing. Yeah,
she's in one scene. I think she has about half a line before she gets just like cut off, and Angelina walks away. Yeah. I was like, oh, you don't do that to Michelle Monaghan.
Well, actually, no, she was the laptop. She was on Brad Pitt's. She was helping Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's right. She was the nerd. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. She was that nerd. So yeah, but here's I mean, I'm going to say, we'll get into it. Let me start with like the actual parts of my podcast. So Steve, you definitely have, you like this movie. When was the first time you saw this movie?
Oh, it was in theaters. Like, in theaters, 2005, I think it was July. Yeah, I was there probably on opening weekend, but like maybe the Wednesday after, because, you know, I had a job just whenever my next day off was. And I think I saw it twice in theaters because the action scenes were so good. I was like, I want to watch it again. You know?
Yeah. Izzy.
Steve, yes.
That was awesome.
Diana.
Yeah.
People. Human.
Izzy, did you see this before Steve brought you into his world?
I did not. I saw the ads for this and thought it looked like the dumbest movie I'd ever see. I would never see. Oh. And I was not interested whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie, like, this is total blasphemy. Spy movies aren't my thing. Weren't my thing. I think I just, like, seen a lot of really boring ones, like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and things like that.
Okay.
So, like, things just like, they're an undercover, like, spy or assassin or whatever. I'm like, all right, it's either going to be a horny, raunchy movie or it's going to be boring as fuck. So I'm not interested.
Okay.
But then in the last, 2 or 3 years, we've seen every single James Bond movie probably twice.
Yeah.
We had several female assassin theme months on the podcast.
Yeah. So see, obviously I've grown and matured and I have found that there are movies that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, yeah.
Important follow-up question to that. What are your thoughts on Atomic Blonde?
Oh, that and, like, Red Sparrow are 2 of, like, the dirtiest, not dirty movies you can watch.
Oh, jeez.
Red Sparrow is very dirty.
Yeah, but they're not considered dirty movies. They're not porns.
I mean,
but they contain pornographic content, absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
I listened to your 2+ hour episode of Red Sparrow, and that was just good times listening to that. I'm like, oh my god, what's wrong with this movie?
It was conservatively 40% about 30 seconds of screen time on the movie.
Yeah, I know what's up.
Horror school. Anyway.
Okay. So what's weird is that Ryan said, you know, very casually, I want to know what you think about this movie because I talk about it a lot. And I keep thinking back, do I talk about this movie a lot? I don't know. I have a lot of my life that I don't record and put, you know, in a podcast feed. So it's very possible. But this is one of those movies I do think about and like look fondly back on. And so the weird thing is I can't remember if I saw it in theaters or not. I could have done the research and went looking for movie stubs, but that's a lot of different places in storage. And so I don't know, but I do remember the swirling of information about the behind the scenes of this movie more than like parts of the movie. And then when I watched it again, it all kind of came flooding back to me like, oh, this just feels like True Lies. Oh, they're going to say the corny lines that we heard in the trailer and all this other stuff. And then I really started to remember like there was like a bunch of different scripts and like a bunch of different scenes and like how many actors of amazingness that were supposed to be a part of this. I'm not talking about like considered. I'm talking about like, no, they were characters and then they just got axed out. And like we can hear their voices and that's it. So that's when I was going through the cast, I'm like, Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David.
Yep.
Was it Jacqueline Bassett, I think, was the leader of the female assassins? It's like, oh my God, that's right. We don't see them at all.
Right. Right. And then like there was something with Terrence Stamp for a little while. Yeah. And as I was watching it and Ryan was like, coming through into the kitchen, I'm just like, I also want to say Angela Bassett's supposed to be in here somewhere. And that didn't pan out either. And then I believe it's William Fichtner's the actual therapist.
Yeah. Yeah, good old Billy Fichtner.
Yeah. Yeah, which he deserves better than that, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm a fan. So
look, the man loves to work. I've seen him in some horrible movies just stealing the show. I mean, he was the villain in The Lone Ranger, where he's in a Disney movie where you see him eat a heart on screen.
A human heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
It's a family film.
He's in What's the Worst That Could Happen, which is almost literally why it's called that in the title, because it's a horrible movie. Oh. But he has the most memorable scenes where he has his little dogs. He's like, pull daddy like a chariot.
What? That's right. Okay.
He's the bank manager in The Dark Knight that comes out blasting a shotgun in the opening scene.
Steve loves him.
And he was in Ultraviolet.
Whoa.
Which I also saw in theaters around this time.
So so are we going to be, introducing our new podcast, The Wills, Fichtner and Sadler, and we'll just watch all their movies?
Fichtner than water? No, I don't know.
Coming next week.
That's right.
Yeah, I was really... So the reason I brought up Atomic Blonde is because when we get to the scene where John and Jane are just beating the shit out of each other... Yeah. I'm like, this is like middle ground of like, it's trying to be serious, but it's also trying to be funny, but they get really, really violent with each other. But there's just that small line of just like, oh, well, they're still getting up and still going for it. So it's not like we're receiving any type of like consequences of him kicking her in the ribs and we can't see it because they're behind a couch.
Because they're behind the couch. Exactly. Yeah. That's how you filmmaking. No, I don't know. But yeah, there's definitely parts of this movie where like, ooh, ow. Like if somebody's asking for an action comedy that's like, this is up there for me with like Lethal Weapon, Romancing the Stone, even though that's like, 10 times more romance than action kind of a thing. But I mean, it's from the director of like The Bourne Identity and, like a bunch of other great movies. And so it's like, there's going to be some great action, but the comedy and everything always hits for me too. Like, no matter how many times I see it, I still just laugh. Like the witty banter back and forth, and
I'll admit that was good and that was effective. Some of it didn't really fit because it's just like, it seems lazy now. Because like for movies now, you're gonna need to do better than that. But then it was just like, oh yeah, this was still pretty good. So it like kind of created the baseline for this kind of action that we're used to seeing. Like all of this felt like, familiar. And like I said,
it all kind of feels like trailer lines, like bumpers. Yeah,
exactly. But but like I was saying before, Atomic Blonde, that's just like, oh, so visceral. And here I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling it, but she's laughing, so I guess she's okay. Like calling him a pussy, so I guess she's all right.
Oh, she likes it rough.
Apparently so, yeah.
Oh, and on that note, my top.
Our tops.
What are we drinking?
We have from, oh my gosh, Ogden River Brewing. That's it, Ogden River Brewing.
Woo.
Becker's Best American Pilsner.
Yeah. This is where we took sushi last night to meet some of our friends, have a nice little dinner at Ogden River Brewing.
He ate the equivalent of half a chicken.
Yeah. And this may be one of the best Pilsners I've ever had in my life. It is fantastic.
It's spectacular.
Let's see if it's as good in the can.
A pale golden beer with a delicate white head, Becker's Best American Pilsner has the soft aromas of bready malts accompanied by the subtle lager notes. The flavor is relatively neutral, with a low tart bitterness and a touch of sweet malt tones. This is a true crushable craft beer with a clean, crisp finish.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice balance with malt and the hops, and just drink it all night, and then wake up with a tummy ache the next morning. I don't know why I would say that.
I don't know why you would say that. 3 liters of beer in.
Yeah, so your beer, it's like a perfect balance, kind of like this movie. Worked really well.
Yeah, that's how you segue.
I try. But yeah, I watched it last night. The power went out, and I'm just like, damn it, I was going to watch that. And then, fortunately, it came back 2 hours later, so I was only a little bit behind. And it's really weird because there's so much of this movie I just don't remember. And it occurred to me, I didn't think I wanted to remember it because it's the banter. And nothing's happening when they're bantering except for, they're fighting each other. But, like, the side plot, I forgot about Adam Brody.
Yeah. He's one of those ones that's like, he's not in the movie for, like, an hour and 20 minutes or so while they're, figuring out all their drama. And then it, like, comes back at the end where it's like, oh, yeah, he's the target. Like, who? Oh, yeah, that was a thing in the first 5 minutes of the movie?
Yeah. And that's what kind of irritated me about, like, this IMDb description where it's just like, they discover that they were, they were supposed to find each other, and I'm like, that comes in at like the last 20 minutes, I think, so it doesn't really make a difference. I will say I like their origin story. It's much like, 2 incredibly attractive people who do not know that each other are assassins, and how convenient is this? But it's
Yeah, the scene where they meet or whatever, we see like the flashback or whatever, and they're like in Colombia or something like that, and just kind of glance each other at the hotel as a bunch of police like going through looking for Brad. His name was Brad Pitt that like assassinated somebody earlier in the day or something. Like just looking around for all the single American males and blah blah blah, and they just see each other across the room and are instantly like getting drinks and dancing, and you know how it goes. Yeah,
because like they're looking for single people. They're like, cool, I'm with her. You see how attractive I am? Clearly I'm with this attractive person.
And she is incredibly anxious to be with me, which makes me think, oh wait, no, she's definitely not an assassin.
I mean, you had mentioned they're not very good at what they do. I mean, they are, but they're not. But this movie leads me to believe they're really not good.
Look, you kind of have to look at it like, look, they leave it in the office. Once they're once they're off the clock, they're not spies anymore. They're just John and Jane, know.
If I may, when they were fighting each other, were they pulling their punches? Because every time it was just like really crappy. Or...
Yes, they totally were, because they didn't want to kill each other. They love each other. Yeah. They just wanted to, send a message.
Okay.
With a frying pan or a cleaver or, blowing up the oven and making the house explode, stuff like that.
Shotgun.
Yeah. Nothing says I love you like a shotgun through a wall.
Yeah. Okay. You okay in there, baby? Yeah, I still like it. I still like the lines. I'm glad you commented on that, because I'm just like, are they really bad, or are they just like, they're trying really hard to not because something is holding them back? And I get that,
Yeah, they like trying to knock each other out or, whatever, just like subdue the other one. So I was like, hey, wait, let's talk this out. But also that's never really brought up either, where it's like, hey, let's talk this out. No, it's more, you're a spy, I have to end you. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's how that goes, I guess. It leads to action. I'm okay with it.
I also think that a lot of their fighting wasn't so much like, I have to kill you. It's just so much, you lied to me. and And that's a big function of just why they're being so brutal to each other.
Yeah.
Which, after a while...
Well, when your trust is broken, that's that's apparently a bad thing, right, babe?
Yes.
Okay.
Babe.
I have to double check.
I don't know if I haven't discussed this on this here podcast. I've discussed it on our podcast. If you break my trust, you're dead to me, because if I can't trust you, what good are you to me? Mm-hmm. And that just sort of goes across the board. I have, like, for whatever reason, that's my, like, off switch. If I can't trust somebody, why are they even in my life? Because, like, it's cruel to them for me to even have any sort of relationship with them, because I'm never going to be able to trust them with anything.
Oh, Izzy, are you saying that if you and Steve were in this scenario where it turns out you were both assassins and you found out each other had lied, is there no beacon of reconciliation?
No, I just don't think I can be lied to like that.
Okay. Would you kill him?
Babe.
No, I like, he would just already be dead to me, so I would just leave.
Babe, you may think I work in hotels and,
No, I know you work in hotels. I've abused your discount.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or have you?
No, I hear you on the phone 8 hours a day now that you work at home. I know you work in hotels.
Unless you're assassinating yoga instructors.
There ain't no secret code in repeating yourself 5 times like, I'm sorry, what was that credit card number? Hello?
Well, you take a left on Peach Street, and then you take a right on Peach Street, then you go forward on Peach Street.
I'm no longer giving directions in Atlanta. So... Oh, when I was at the Central Reservations. Oh, you're going to Atlanta and you want directions to the hotel? All right, strap in, sir.
I mean, are you their navigator? Why?
Well, this was like around this time, 2005, when MapQuest was new, I guess. And old people didn't know how to print. I don't know. But it's like, hey, I'm going to Atlanta on business. Can you help me get to the marquee? Yes, okay, you're going to take I-95 or whatever, exit on Peachtree Northwest, then you're going to turn right on Peachtree Southeast West, then you're... Yeah, it's... Atlanta, get your shit together.
You hear it, Atlanta? Do it.
I mean, peaches are cool and all, but come on. There's other things in life. So you have an aquarium. So
do you, twitch a little every time that Made in Georgia thing comes up? With every Marvel movie?
Not anymore.
Okay, good.
Well, it's everything on FX and stuff, too. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like...
The Walking Dead makes me angry. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
they're coming down Peachtree. Which one? All of them!
Like, I want to see the real... I want to see the real one. Like, all right, it says we got to find the CDC. They said it's on Peach Street.
Damn it. We'll never find it. I will tell you this. I am curious about the FX series Atlanta, starring Donald Glover and many others.
Huh?
I'm probably not going to watch it just because I know one of them's going to say Peachtree, and I'm going to have to stop watching it.
Wow.
You just wanted Atlanta to be called The House on Peachtree?
Yeah. I can dig it.
Steve, what about you? Is trust that important?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, good.
Okay. I mean, look. Look, I'm one of those people. I don't trust people to begin with, so I almost assume you're trying to screw me over for the most part until I get to know you, and then when trust is established, it's pretty important. But yeah, I don't know. I have no soul. I don't know.
What? I've met your soul. You have it.
I got a little bit.
You just side eye.
Yeah. Yeah, so somebody's being dishonest to me, is kind of giving the side eye, and I'm like, all right, I'm on to you.
Yeah. Alrighty. Using your expertise on this movie and also your thought on relationships itself, the question is, we may not have seen it, but do you think that John and Jane love each other?
Well, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think John loves Jane more than Jane loves John.
Isn't that always how it is?
I mean, I feel like in this movie...
Tell me more.
Hey, go for a bit.
I don't know. He seems like he's trying to do more to mend the relationship, and she's pulling an Izzy and is sort of like, fuck you, I'm leaving.
Yeah, she's definitely the more like, you've broken my trust, we're fucking done, I'm not even going to talk about it, whatever. You were the
Yep.
prettiest mark I've ever seen, or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Where he's like, oh, okay, so it's like that?
You were a good
All right,
lay.
I tried.
But
You know?
thanks.
Those were definitely fighting words.
Yeah.
But I will give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. She does think that he tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, where he trips and the gun falls off. Again, they're the they're leaving it at work. Dude, you just tripped and accidentally shot your wife's in the.
And he was like, no, Jane, I'm sorry, that was an accident. You know?
She's
And
going
what does he
to
get
believe
for
it?
it? Ran over with a minivan. Yeah. God, this movie's amazing.
Right.
I mean, in my opinion, yeah, it's one of those like love at first sight or first night kind of things. They see each other. It's Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Come on,
Right?
Jennifer Aniston, you never had a fucking chance. Billy Bob, come on, bro.
Was it Billy Bob at the time?
Or her brother? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Billy Bob at the time. Maybe she was recently single or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, obviously those two get together. It's like, all right, well, game's over, guys. We're having all of the kids.
They did.
Even the ones we can't make, we're taking on them like they're a litter of puppies. Like, come on, come one, come all.
Yeah, they, I believe, opened up like international laws being altered because of the way they adopted kids. I don't know. I just read it in IMDb trivia.
Yeah. But yeah. First night or whatever, they're instantly smitten. They were
First
married.
Night's
What?
a different movie, Steve.
Stop. Weren't they married was it 3 weeks or 3 months later?
Oh shoot!
It was quick.
It was in the dialogue with Vince Vaughn just being like, no, this is way too quick. You've known this girl for what? I want to say
It's been 3 weeks as they're boxing and stuff.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna ask her to marry me.
But yeah, you're not an international spy and then marrying within 3 weeks. I mean, if we've seen James Bond, that's never happened before. Guys, watch On Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's the best one.
Woo! And then check out the episode where I am a guest. Woo!
Yeah!
Everything I learned from movies and all the podcatchers.
That's right. And then, yeah, even when, 6 years later, 7 years later, love that running joke. They're having their marriage difficulties and everything. I mean, they're kind of trying to work it out. They're going to therapy, and then they even try to accidentally kill one another, and the trust is betrayed. They still ultimately, I mean, he has her dead to rights after that big old scene in the whatever, has the gun ready to go, and he's like, you know what? No, here, you do it.
Yep.
And she's like, no, fight back. I'm not. And then they, pound town right there on the kitchen countertop and up against the glass cupboard
so
and
messed up.
all on the floor and just comparing scars and stuff afterwards. That's love, baby.
Yeah, I agree with Izzy's, observation that the fact that John was the first one to put the gun down, it's like, oh yeah, he's trying pretty hard.
Yeah.
Or he's that quick to give up. I don't know. Could be both. Nah, it's probably the first one. Let's go with the romantic version of it.
Yeah, let's go with the romantic version.
Yep. Love at
As
first
opposed to
sight.
he just had a death wish or whatever.
I mean, he could be. I mean, again, they're pretty terrible at what they do. Yeah, he might also still be mad that it's just like he thinks that she's been at this for 6 years and knew the whole time. But
Oh. I love the scene where they're they're reconciled and they're like, so how many people have you killed or whatever? How many people have you done? And Brad Pitt's like, it was 42 or something like that. And she's like, oh, 42, that's impressive. How about you? A little over 300 or something like that. And he's like, what? 300 dudes? Yep. Sometimes 2 or 3 guys at once.
Yeah. I was actually trying to figure
it's a sex joke. Come on.
Yeah, of course it is. But I'm actually thinking, again, sex joke actually translates to yeah, she has more opportunity.
Yeah, she's Angelina Jolie for fuck's sake. I mean, not that Brad Pitt has to, go a day in his life without it, but
Right.
But
But he's a gentleman. No, I don't know.
Man, Izzy, do you agree? Love at first sight?
Yes.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy to, the way the script is. It's just like, yeah. This is Whirlwind. They are totally into each other and adrenaline has to be involved. But they're a little bit more, even handed when Vince Vaughn is saying like it's too long, and then Kerry Washington's like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "I don't know. This will work out. It'll be fine." And I like it, and I like her, and I like him, and yeah, it works pretty well, and I buy it.
Yeah. And it's a good thing you do buy it, because you kind of have to buy it when the rest of the movie is them basically trying to kill each other, and
it doesn't matter how good looking they are if it's just like I don't buy it. Like, yeah, kill each other. Like, who's gonna win? Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, well. I mean,
then it just becomes guys versus girls, and you don't want that.
I know, and they did that just a little bit with Vince Vaughn's character, where he's just like, what is it? Did you kill the evil bitch yet?
Yeah.
And she's like right over there.
As he's living in his mom's house. Oh, I wanted to see his mom so much.
At the very least, we got to hear her voice, so that's something.
Yeah.
Oh, God, like no psycho version of it, where it turns out...
That was my theory!
Yep. That's
that was
when
my
Izzy
theory!
watched it the first time, like, there's no mom upstairs, is there? I'm like, well... It's not confirmed, but at least he has recordings or something, maybe. But...
Izzy, great minds.
But I do love that gag though. The whole Vince Vaughn living at home with his mother, and then Leslie like never seeing the mother.
Mom, I almost shot you. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was about to quote something, and it turns out it was Anchorman. Like,
no!
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. I'm like, that's a completely different movie.
Yeah.
And then I also like the set dressings in Vince Vaughn's mom's house.
Yeah.
Was perfection. It's just the perfect mix of like 1980s mom's house, which really means it's like 1970s stuff.
Yes.
And then just like weapons strewn about.
And then Brad Pitt sleeping on the couch, sniffing the blanket. Ugh.
Yes.
Well done. That's well done. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a stretch for me because I have so many thoughts. I would love to hear yours, but it's the question we need to ask. What happens next?
Oh, well, I mean, we have the beauty of seeing what happened to Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt.
Exactly.
So they're gonna adopt 35 kids from foreign countries.
Okay.
They're both gonna sort of lose their minds, get too many tattoos, and then hire like 27 nannies and get divorced.
Oh.
Did they get divorced?
They are divorced.
Yeah.
They are divorced? Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. Oh, no. Breaking news.
Yeah, I think they got divorced like 10 years ago.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
breaking Steve's heart.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, I remember now.
But then they were like still sort of dating. Like it was cloudy.
Did they divorce for some reason because she was saying like Brad Pitt was just a big pothead or something like that?
Yeah.
It was something where it was like, well, yeah.
let me Google it.
It's but it wasn't like he was like fucking around with half of Hollywood starlets or whatever. It was just like, yeah, he's kind of a pothead and he just works and makes $30 million a year making movies. Like, well, yeah, he's Brad Pitt.
Well, see, now we got to play the whole like, what celebrity gossip did you hear versus what celebrity gossip did I hear? Because,
what did you hear?
Well, when I was talking to Ryan about this, I'm just like, oh, let's really think about this. He was engaged to Gwyneth Paltrow, Oscar winner, and then he, Jennifer Aniston, like richest person on television with Emmys and what have you. And then, Angelina Jolie, there's an Oscar right there. And then I had heard, allegedly, that he had cheated on her with Marion Cotillard.
Oh.
When they were
filming Allied or whatever?
Yeah. That's what I had heard. And I'm just like, he's just jumping Oscar winners. And that's weird.
Okay.
He is.
All right, guys. Insider has the complete timeline of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's relationship and divorce.
Because they didn't get married right away. I remember that.
No. All right. So in 2004,
yeah,
they meet on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
2005, Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston announced they're separating. 2005, they're officially divorced.
That was quick.
March of 2005 is when Aniston divorced him. April of 2005, Pitt and Jolie are photographed on vacation together in Kenya.
What?
Don't forget Jennifer Aniston dated Vince Vaughn for a little while.
Oh shit, that's right.
July of
breakup.
2005, Pitt and Jolie featured in magazine in a spread labeled Domestic Bliss.
Okay.
This is when Jolie adopted Zahara.
Right. That's right. She adopted a few kids, and then eventually he's like, they're my kids too now.
Yeah.
January 2006, the couple confirmed they're expecting a child. May of 2006, their first biological daughter is born in Nambia, Africa. March of 2007, Pitt and Jolie adopt Pax from Vietnam.
Pax of what?
Right?
Got him.
In May of that year, Jolie announces she's pregnant with twins. July of 2008, the twins are born in Nice, France.
Castor and Pollux.
Nice.
Right? February 2010, the couple sued the News of the World for saying they had split. April 2012, Pitt and Jolie's engagement is officially confirmed.
There it is.
May of 2013, Jolie reveals she's gone through a preventative double mastectomy. August 2014, the two secretly got married in France.
Aww. At the home of Marie-Anne Cotillard.
Oh no!
2015, they worked together on their first movie since Mr. and Mrs. Smith. By the Sea, which was directed by Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, okay.
2016, Pitt and Jolie seen together in public for the last time.
Oh.
September of 2016, Jolie files for divorce. They were only married 2 years.
Aww.
Shortly after September 2016, Pitt's accused of physically abusing one of the children. He was cleared by authorities. Apparently Jolie's complaint was that he drinks heavily.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, that's rougher.
January 2017, couple hire a private judge to keep their divorce a secret.
Yeah, it's not happening.
August 2018, Jolie's camp accuses Pitt of not paying meaningful child support. Pitt's lawyers say Pitt had in fact paid $1.3 million. Jolie said she needed more than $8 million to continue the lifestyle.
Well, okay, for starters, 1.3 per child seems reasonable.
Right.
And like reasonable child support, like I paid 1.3 million. Do you know who you are?
April 2019, Pitt and Jolie both become legally single. They're officially divorced.
Okay.
May 2021, Pitt reportedly granted significantly more time with the children.
Okay.
February 2022, Pitt sues Jolie over her stake in their $28 million French winery.
Man, it must be rough.
I know.
August 2022 reports Jolie told the FBI that Pitt grabbed her by the head in 2016 in an altercation. That's what they, that's the current up to date.
Wow. That's hard. So you're telling me that they're just going to go through a similar trajectory of, wait, will they have children?
They'll adopt children. Because, I mean, come on, like, when you're killing people off, there's gonna be little left behinds.
So, like,
okay, guys, I got it. It's a whole Jean-Claude Van Johnson kind of thing. Where, after this movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, too, William Fichtner, the therapist or whatever, he has some connections. He knows a few people. He's been in some bad movies. And he's like, hey, you got charisma. You got it. And they start doing movies, but they're also doing hits on the side, like Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Okay.
Have you seen that show?
I haven't seen the show, no.
All right, check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. It's basically Jean-Claude Van Damme as himself, sort of, but he's basically action star by day and assassin by night. And yeah. It's action comedy. Again, I recommend it. The director, Peter Atencio, does some good stuff. He's also the guy who directed, like, Keanu, the Jordan Peele, Keegan-Michael Key one from a couple years ago.
That's some good stock there with your director.
Yep.
Nice.
And it's like 6 30-minute episodes. It's like a 3.5 hour movie, basically.
Dang. Oh, not bad. Okay, so Steve says it's going to be a situation where they're Jean-Claude Van Johnsoning themselves.
Exactly.
Izzy, you're saying that they're going to be just like, adopting some kids and then getting divorced?
Yeah, it's gonna like turn into like a big ugly meltdown. But no, they've got the kids and they're, like they're on the PTA board and all of that, so they can't actually just like have an all-out shoot 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to like go after each other's wineries.
Okay. I mean, he has his winery. See, this is why you need to have your own independent hobbies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's an excellent lesson. I myself am of the opinion that they really didn't end the fact that, okay, they had this big shoot 'em up scene at the end. And even when I saw this the first time, I'm just like, oh, that's really nice that they're in their therapy session. There's a nice bow on that at the end. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna die.
Yeah, they're still like have two assassin agencies after them.
Yes.
And I assume that ties in directly to Bullet Train, now in theaters.
Oh, did you see it?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay.
No, theaters, Diana. Did you hear that part?
No, I heard you. For all I know, it's been on demand for 6 months and I just wasn't paying attention. Interesting. Okay, yeah. No, so I think, I don't think they're gonna make it very far in a timeline. Oh no, they're gonna be shot up in a. I mean, come on, they made allusions to like what was it, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, with them being in the shack in the not Costco.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't think that they were gonna make it the first time I saw this.
Oh, I could totally see it as one of the things like they jump out there, freeze frame, you hear like all the rockets and stuff going by.
Yeah.
Like Ed 209 freeze and comply or whatever. Like, wait, what's happening? And then it's just roll credits.
Yep. The end. So I mean there's a huge bounty on both of them. So people are gonna regroup and they're gonna get found out. And it's the fact that they didn't split up. Well, actually, that's really sweet. I like that they did that. But they died together. And I give it 3 weeks. Much like their courtship. Oh, that's a nice bow.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
They're on the run. They're in Colombia, back at the place where they first met. And I don't know, that's when, I don't know, napalm is on that city block that gets them. I don't know.
6 years later, somebody who wanted to avenge whoever one of them killed then gets their chance.
Antonio Banderas shows up. It's like, hello, my friend.
Oddly, as Puss in Boots. I said poops. Yes, for some reason, Puss in Boots.
Yes, Puss in Poops.
Puss in Poops. That's the story of cats.
All right. So, okay. I think it's a little grim, but it makes sense. Actually, Steve, no, yours was quite lovely.
Well, I think so. You know me, the optimist.
Well, there it is. What else do you want to make sure we definitely laugh about or talk about with this movie?
All right, the van freeway chase scene or whatever that's in this movie.
That's good stuff. A lot of healing happened.
Yeah, it's absolutely one of the most amazing action scenes in definitely a comedy, but like movies in general, just all the ridiculous, like, doing the Rockford, like doing the 180, clow, then doing the reverse Rockford to get back in a minivan and getting rammed and being knocked into the front seat. And,
yep.
Yeah.
Back and forth and back and forth. Izzy, I totally thought of you when they did the flip and then they were still going backwards as quickly as they were accelerating. And I'm like, that's Izzy.
Yep, nope. You can only max out at like 40 miles an hour. Come on, guys.
Yep. Exactly. Look at what you did.
Now, just the more I feel like the more I spread that, the more everybody just thinks about it.
Yep. It's real. It's real. Oh, speaking of which, great scene there. And then how the Costco scene felt like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I'm very happy to know that the scene where they're dancing a tango was meant to be an homage to True Lies.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because I couldn't not think about that. And I'm just like, this is really straightforward. But
well, there's really two kinds of dance homage scenes. There's basically that and Pulp Fiction, where you get random people doing the fucking Batusi or whatever. And,
The Batusi.
you know, the... Yeah. Everything else, it's like when it's trying to be sexy, it's an homage to True Lies. Like they've never had sexy dance scenes before then or something.
yeah, I mean...
But it was perfected.
I don't know. I would say it was perfected in Addams Family Values.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
Get all of your champagne up so it can just pop as soon as, you're done.
Yeah, even the babushka was worth it. They dance the dance of brotherly love.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Are we going to talk Addams Family?
The first one?
Let's do it. All right, the year is 1991.
Okay.
Now that's the true
Yeah.
You want relationship goals?
Yeah.
You want Gomez and Morticia.
Yep.
When do they fall in love? Picture it, Sicily, 1922.
Oh my god. Well, interestingly enough, we did do Addams Family Values, which was nice, but the first one, Gomez. Have you ever been Gomez and Morticia for Halloween?
No, we haven't.
I'm too tall.
It's true.
Oh my god, you
We're more of a monster looking couple.
Babe, you could be Morticia.
Yeah.
I could be
no, I'm good.
Gomez.
No, I don't like this.
Wait, Izzy, don't you already have like what is it? The Undertaker and
Yeah.
Paul Bearer?
Paul Bearer, yeah.
Yeah, I have my Paul Bearer outfit. It's the same thing.
Yes.
So you be Gomez and I'll be Lurch.
No, I want you to be Morticia.
Don't deny our love.
Uh-oh, new fan fiction.
I don't know if you guys have seen the complaints about the images from the new Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Luis
Stuff that's going
Guzman and
around.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the complaints are that they think Luis Guzman is too ethnic to play Gomez Addams.
They've never seen the comic or cartoons or anything but Raul Julia.
Raul Julia.
Raul Julia.
They're gonna be really pissed when they find out who's playing their perfect Gomez.
I don't understand what's going on lately with people just being that critical.
Yeah,
It's the internet, guys. Come on.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Did you see She-Hulk shake her ass the other day? Huh?
It's you know what it is. I blame the Star Wars and Jurassic Park fans.
Oh, because
How dare you.
They started the like I'm allowed to like one movie out of 8 and still be considered a super fan trend. So now everybody's like, it's not exactly what I pictured in my head, even though I haven't seen the movie in 20 years. So I'm mad.
I thought you were gonna say they were upset that the T-Rex was a female and they got all woke.
Right. The T-Rex was always a female, you sons of bitches.
Not by my memory.
That's like that was my powerful female figure when I was a kid. I wanted to grow up to be the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Well, that's a good one. Morticia Addams and the T-Rex.
Exactly. This is why being a monster kid rules.
All right, internet. As much as we don't want to hear about your crap, we do want to hear about what you think about Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think of Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Oh, that's actually an excellent question because
Yeah, true. It's been a few years since. Yeah, I basically got to put it up like, okay, is it the greatest action comedy or the greatest comedic action movie of all time?
ooh, what would
And
be
then the
right?
question, if you haven't seen it in 20 years, is it Mr. and Mrs. Smith or is it Night and Day?
Ugh. Dare you speak of that in this house?
I'm just saying the ads were exactly the same for both of them.
She's not wrong.
I don't want them in the same category.
Unfortunately, Steve, they already are.
How so?
They both have...
Because they have "and" to the title? Come on.
They both have an ampersand in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, no!
They have the last names in the title.
Yeah.
Action romance, that's what they're going for, right?
Ugh.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they totally nailed it with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. Is that who was in that movie? No one cares.
Yeah, no. Okay, sorry. I mean, yes, because I remember the ads very, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one follow us. I'm gonna kill myself and then everyone else here. Yeah. Good line, Tom Cruise.
Just nailed it.
Exactly. Cool. Oh, right. Yes. So people want to contact us. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, even though I'm mad at Instagram on behalf of Steve, at HEAMCast, HEAMCAST. Facebook at Happily Ever Aftermath. And you can email us at contact@heamcast.com. Steve and Izzy, I understand you also have a podcast?
We do?
What?
We do, actually. Yes, it's called Everything I Learned from Movies, and it's on all the major podcatchers. But you can also hit us up directly on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies. And guys,
Steve?
and gals, I assume
Steve?
they also listen to podcasts. No, I'm just kidding.
6% or whatever?
Well, the Corolla numbers? No. There's some big things coming up at this Untidy Venus that I keep hearing about.
Oh, a goddess who's bad at housekeeping?
Yeah, what? Who and what is that?
Yeah, that's me!
Oh!
Yeah, folks out there, I have all kinds of fun stuff coming. Check out all my social medias at Untidy Venus everywhere. We may be having some crowdfunding coming up for new enamel pins. If you're familiar with my products, you've probably seen Gary the Unicorn, my mascot, and the Snackosaurs.
Yes.
Stay tuned. There are developments on the horizon. Yeah. You can be part of it. You can help vote on which designs are going to get turned into Marvelous products. If you donate enough, you can pick the design that gets turned into Marvelous products.
And where would they follow to find out more information about that, babe?
Untidy Venus everywhere! Steve, where can you find her?
Find Untidy Venus? On Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Instagram. That's the one I keep...
No, Steve. It's like, where does he fuck?
Everywhere!
There we go!
Absentee landlord. Guys, when are we doing Devil's Advocate here on Happily Ever Aftermath?
Fall in love!
Oh my god, sorry. I was just having a moment because I'm just like, oh, I didn't want to answer for Steve, but I think I know the answer to this.
You should just jump in next time.
She's like, where can you find Untidy Venus? I don't know, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere!
Diana, where can you find her?
Everywhere!
Yeah, she said it! Oh, baby. Guys, let's talk Devil's Advocate. All right, the year is 1995. Oh my god.
So, as you can hear, Steve and Izzy are a very important cornerstone of my existence. So you know that I will also be supporting said Patreon. But take it from me. I know that this is good stuff and you should be supporting it. So I'm going to keep it in the show notes of where you can find it. Click on it. Support. You're doing a good thing. And you're doing a good thing for yourself, too. Untidy Venus.
That's right. Holidays are just around the corner. Take care of all your Christmas shopping.
Oh, yeah. One-stop shop.
Woo!
The one-stop shop that always pops her top.
Oh, my top!
Nice.
Diana, for the holidays, is there going to finally be a HEAMCast TeePublic where we can buy goods and wares?
Oh, let me think about that. Oh, I know somebody who could help me work on that. Offline. They don't need to hear all the technicals about that, but let's talk. Let's talk about this.
Okay, so what you do is you go to tpublic.com.
Okay. We'll see if I can make it happen.
Yes.
Oh, but at the very least, I know that I shall be doing one of Steve's pet portraits as a gift. So you need to check that out at some point. You can find that on TeePublic, right, Steve?
That's right. tpublic.com/user/Steve's Pet Portraits.
Steve's amazing pet portraits, because Steve's Pet Portraits was already taken.
Hold on. I looked it up the other day to actually try to find it. Because, guys, if you... looking up anything on TeePublic...
pretty hard.
It's just all porn.
Yeah, pretty much. Where am I?
It's not what I meant when I said pretty hard.
So hard.
Steve's Pet Portraits.
No apostrophe.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Steve's, multiple pet portraits, all one word, on TeePublic.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it the best holiday season ever.
You can see pictures of the famous Apollo. We also have Mookie. Who was Mookie? Was that one of Ben and Kristen's? No? Okay.
No.
No, I know Garfield was Ben and Kristen's, as was Boompole Snoot, the Black Panther. There's also Cameron and Poe from our podcast.
And Mr. Pickles.
And Mr. Pickles.
You can get
the
a
original
pickle in his
podcast.
cage. He's it's Pickles' head on a pickle.
That just makes it extra adorable.
Oh, I gotta ask the other artist. We got fan art of Mr. Pickles with, we can turn it into a shirt. But she drew Mr. Pickles' face with a crown of pickles. Oh. And she somehow made it look not like dicks.
Impossible. Prove it.
So yeah, shout out to Fat Cat Photography. It's my friend Chelsea. She does amazing pet portraits. And also, if you're looking for pet portraits, look up Weird Vanity on all the social medias. That's my friend Shruti, and she also does absolutely spectacular pet portraits. What I'm saying is, if you want like just a wall covered in your pet's art, I know all the artists who can do it.
That's Untidy Venus. Hit her up.
Yeah. I can't even begin to thank you both, but I'm going to try a little bit. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yes,
always
so
glad
much.
to talk movies with Diana.
Aw, thank you so much. Izzy, thank you. Love you.
Oh, we love you. You're amazing. And yeah, thank you for supporting all our weird endeavors and having us on and just generally being like the nicest human on the planet.
You both are always welcome. And, oh, right, there's a podcast going on right now. Until next time, may your aftermath be happy.
Do dee do 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 do.